All right. Time to dive into this whole idea of personal mantras and using positive affirmations, huh?
Yeah,
You've sent me so much interesting stuff on this.
it seems like it's everywhere, right? I mean, like every book, every podcast, everybody's promising, like, get success, use the power of positive thinking.
Yeah, it really does feel that way, doesn't it? Like it's really having a moment.
Yeah.
And for good reason. Like there's actually a lot of really interesting research and history behind it. You've given me articles on everything from like ancient wisdom traditions to like modern day neuroscience.
Yeah, you've been digging deep into this. It's been fun to watch,
So
honestly.
you've given me so much good stuff, I kind of went down the rabbit hole. But one thing that I really, really wanted to talk about today that I think is super relevant to our listeners and also something that you see a lot in this material is this idea that like by using these mantras, by using these affirmations, you can manifest things in your life. And I gotta say, sometimes like that word manifesting it kind of throws me off a little bit. I don't know, it makes me think of like a genie in a bottle or something.
Right.
But there's obviously more to it than that, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's not about magic. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna like wish for this thing and it'll just magically appear. It's really more about, think of it as aligning, your thoughts and your actions with what you want,
Okay.
with the outcomes that you're looking for. It's almost like, if you're using a GPS to get somewhere,
Oh.
these these affirmations and these mantras are like the little prompts
Yeah.
that keep you going in the right direction, right?
Yeah.
They're reminding you where you want to go, and
Yeah.
they're keeping you kind of, giving you that little boost of confidence along the way.
I like that. So instead of magically making things appear, it's more about shaping our mindset to go after what we want.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Hmm.
And speaking of mindset, I know we were talking about, personal power earlier, and I'm kind of curious to pick your brain about that a little bit because, what does that even mean in this context? Is this like, inner superhero stuff we're talking about here?
Right. If it's got like a cape under their,
Yeah.
button-down shirt or whatever. I love that image. But you're on the right track. It is
Yeah.
about recognizing, I think, that you have the ability, you have the power to make choices and then to take the actions that go along with those choices that are going to directly impact your life. And so, I mean, think about that study that you sent to me about the athletes,
Yeah, yeah.
with the ones who were using these affirmations before they were competing. And the researchers actually found that the athletes that were using these self-affirming statements, they they actually performed better, especially under pressure, because they believed more in their own abilities, like they had strengthened that belief in themselves. They tapped into that personal power.
That's amazing. So it's actually like it's not even just about thinking these positive thoughts. It's about really truly like believing in your ability to make those thoughts a reality,
Right.
which is huge. Like that's not passive at all. It's actually like a call to action in a way, isn't it?
Right. And it's recognizing that, hey, I have agency in my own life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about denying the challenges or the setbacks, because those are going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But that article on resilience that you pointed out, it talked about how these affirmations can help people to kind of reframe that negative self-talk that can come up, especially when you're facing some kind of obstacle.
Yeah, and you had even underlined like a quote in there that was really powerful, talking about how it's about shifting your language, even from like I can't do this to something like I'm still learning or some variation of that, which is huge when you
Absolutely.
think about it.
Huge difference.
Totally.
Yeah.
So for someone listening right now who's maybe just starting out, they're interested in this. What would be like just one piece of advice that you would give them based on everything that you've read, you've researched?
I really think the most important thing is to find affirmations that really truly resonate with you.
Mm.
Like with your values, your aspirations. Don't try to force yourself to believe something that you really don't deep down right. It's more about identifying those thoughts and those beliefs that are really going to empower you to be that best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, what is it that you want to cultivate in your life?
It's about being really intentional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What seeds are you planting with your thoughts, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a really great point to end on, I think, which is, choosing those positive affirmations that really speak to us on a deep level and using those to kind of move forward. Well, listeners, there you have it. Mantras and affirmations, when used intentionally, can be really, really powerful tools for cultivating that success-oriented mindset and doing it not by wishing for that change, but by inspiring it from within.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah. And the most powerful affirmation of all, it just might be believing in your own potential to make it happen.